All right, welcome to the weekly meeting. Today is November 22nd, and we have a few on the list today. So we're going to start off with GBP USD. All right, so GBP USD, we're on the weekly. We're looking at the big picture. As always, we're looking at market structure. So we've gone here to here, here to here to here to here. All right, that's the structure. So we're currently in this higher time frame structure with this being the current swing high. Okay. This is the current swing high. So we know where we're going. We know this was our, delete this. We know this was our break of structure here. We had a break of structure there. And so we know that we're at least buying up into, if we fib this move, all the way to the downside, we've already tapped the 70 and um, we tapped the 78 and then price started pulling back. So now what we want to do is look at the structure that's going up into the premium zone. So we have the breakup structure here, so which makes this our swing low, which makes this our swing low. And of course, this is our current structure buying up into the premium zone, and this is our swing high. Any questions on the market structure? Nope. Okay. All right. So now, based on this weekly, there is a supply zone that's also up in here. So for me, I want I want to tap into the highest point of supply zone that there is, whether it's 78, 88, or higher, right? So price broke structure. We know what's going to happen once you get a break of structure. Price is going to start pulling back. So let's go down to our daily and let's look for our market structure shift, which happened here. Once you get a shift or a break of structure, you know price is going to pull back. So you look for your supply or demand zone. This was our supply zone. The price pulled back to for the sell. Okay. So now this is our swing low. And we got a break of structure of that swing low. So now we have a new supply zone. Is somebody asking me a question or no? Am I tripping? I might be tripping. Okay. So now we have a new supply zone. This is our supply zone. We have this breakup structure. Price is still possibly selling down. I would be looking for price to sell down into this demand zone, possibly before pushing back up. So, price is likely going to sell. Um, or if it buys up, I think it's going to sell. But if it does buy up, I would be looking for price to buy up into at least somewhere up in here. And let's go to the 4 hour, see what's going on. There's a little supply zone here. Okay, so I would be looking for price to buy up into the zone and then start selling if it's going to buy up. But I would be looking for the sell. Um, and then sell down into this zone here. Now, we did have a 4 hour shift in structure. We had a market structure shift here. And then price came back and um, bought from the demand zone. But the structure is telling us the internal structure, this was the break here. So that makes this the swing high. So price would have to break this high if we're looking for um, a continuation of a buy. So right now, this break of structure is pulling into this demand zone, I mean supply zone. So it's possibly going to continue selling. I don't see any other structure that price is giving me that it's going to buy up in this zone right here. So that's why I would be looking for the sell. Now, of course, if price starts to continue buying up, or if you go to a lower time frame and price, what I would be looking for, if you go to this lower time frame, and remember, this is your high, this is your swing high here. So price can buy anywhere, all the way, price can come all the way back up here, for all I know. Um, but I would definitely be looking for a um, shift in structure somewhere in this zone for a sell. And I would be looking for the sell to happen down. And this is the liquidity here. So I would look for a price to tap into the zone and then possibly start buying back up. Or it could continue selling. If you look at the higher time frame, um, 4 hour, let's just narrow that down. Yeah, I would be looking for price to come back and sell, come back into this zone to then start pushing back up to here to then look for another sell to the downside. But as of right now, we are in bearish momentum. So I would be looking for sells. Any questions on GU? Um, let's see, GA. Let's look at the big picture. Look at the weekly. Do, 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 do. We had a push up, push down, push up. So we're in bearish structure. So this bearish structure is pushing up to, we're currently in bullish structure. Sorry, let me say that. But the bigger picture is at some point we're going up to the premium zone to then start selling. So that's why you have to look at the bigger picture to know where you're going. So currently, Um, we're in this, we're in this higher time frame structure, but we have a break of structure here. And which makes this my swing low. And this my swing high. Okay. So let's go down to the daily. And as you can see, we have bearish structure. You have a break of structure here. Price pullback to a supply zone or almost tapped into a supply zone. If you trade imbalances, then you got in on an imbalance. And then price broke structure here. So at some point, price should be pulling back to a supply zone. Okay. As of right now, I don't see the structure that to look for the buy. Let me see on the 4 hour. So this was the last structure here. This was the supply zone. Price tapped into. So price could possibly start shifting to the downside. Just based off of this internal structure right here. So if I go down in time frame and I look for the structure that tapped into this zone, I can see that this pushed up, this pulled back, this pushed up, this pulled back, this pushed up. So this would be my current swing low. Okay. So price would either need to break this low for me or break this high. And as you can see, this has been consolidating for a while. Yep, so this was the break structure here. It tapped into the zone, but until it shifts structure, it's still bullish. But once it breaks either the high or the low, well, once it breaks, if it breaks the low, then you'll start looking for your sells. So if I were trading GA, I would set an alert, crossing down, bar close. Once you get the alert, you can mark up your, if you get the alert, then you can mark up your supply zone. So let's just say price close below here. Then you're going to mark up this zone to look for the sell. That's what I see for GA. And the sell would be down to at least, depending on your trade, you can target how you trade or how long you want to hold a trade. You can just target all the lows. So from here to here, you're talking about 200 pips. From here to here, you're talking about 259 pips. From here to here, 364 pips. So, I- um, so yeah, you would need to see the shift in structure. before I would take a sell on this. Any questions on GA? Nope. All right. Oil. Let's go to the weekly. Oil is currently, I don't know what kind of structure this is. This was a break of structure here, and then there was a break of structure here. So this was a market structure shift here. Which makes this my demand zone. Okay. So as price is going down, we look at our swing lows. Price broke structure here, which made this my swing high. Okay, and this the swing low. All right, so within that, price has the current internal structure is here, right? So price tapped into a supply zone and sold. So we're looking for price to continue selling at least to wick or close below this low, which makes now the current move structure right here. So let me mark that up as my current structure, which got tapped into. Let's go to the daily. So we're going to narrow this zone down to the smallest zone we could find. And I'm just going to go to the hour. And I'm just going to mark up this zone here. So price shifted structure. Let's find our 15-minute demand zone. That's 15-minute demand zone. So right here is a zone. And let's just mark this one right here. So I would be looking for price to sell back down to, oh, it already has it's sold back down to here. Not only did it sell back down to here, it then shifted structure, pull back to this zone. So, but there was no impulsive move as of right now to the top. So I'm thinking this is going to sell some more. I'm thinking this is just liquidity right here or right here. I'm thinking this is just liquidity to sell back down to here and then possibly start buying. So for oil, and I think on my other chart, I have this alert set right here. So that's what I think oil is going to do. Of course, unless it breaks this swing high, 15-minute swing high. So that's my thoughts on oil. GBP NZD. Let's go to the weekly. Let's look at the big picture. We're currently in, or almost in the weekly. Oh no, we're not there yet. Weekly supply zone. So we are getting close. So if I look at the current structure, this is our swing high here. Price has broken structure of that zone. Um, and this is my swing low. And of course, this is the current swing high. So now if I go down to my daily time frame and I start identifying my structure, which went from here to here, price closed above there to here and to here. So there has been a shift in structure. So I will mark up let me go to the 4-hour, my 4-hour supply zone. And let me narrow that down to my 1-hour supply zone. So based on the 1-hour, this is the structure we're in right here, from here to here to here. So price is either going to take out this low, if this is a valid zone, or we're going to buy back up into here and then shift structure. I think it's going to buy back up, but I have to let the market show me what it's going to do. But this is the current 1-hour structure. So we have to respect the current structure. And let's go to the 15-minute. So I would want to see price pull back into this zone before pushing back up or taking out this low, closing below this low to then look for the supply zone to sell from, to sell back down to, let's go down. So if price takes out this low, then you look for the pullback to then sell back down to this low. Okay. Any questions on GN? No. All right, EJ, on the weekly. Look at the bigger picture. So the bigger picture is telling me that we broke this structure. We have this breakup structure here. So now we know at some point price is likely going to be pulling back. So if I look at the structure within there, we're here. All right. So this is our weekly swing low. And of course, we're at this high. So now let's go down to in time frame. Let's go to the 4-hour. This is our daily breakup structure, our daily swing low, and of course, this is our swing high. So let's go see if we have a shift in structure anywhere. All right, all right. So we have this shift in structure here. So we'll price should be pulling back somewhere into excuse me, somewhere into the supply zone here, or yeah, somewhere back into the supply zone at some point. Um, it is tapping into some current demand zones, but the structure is still saying bearish. As you can see here, this is still in bearish structure. So either price is going to give us some other form of structure, shift structure, to then buy back up into the zone, or you'll have to wait for it to shift this structure, pull back, buy up. But if that's the case, you might as well just wait for price to come back into this supply zone to then look for the sell to the downside. Um, Otherwise, you're gonna have to wait because price is too low. For me, price is already too low to sell. It's already tapped into some demand zones. Um, One which is here. So price could, this is too low to sell because price is going to come back. Price is going to push back up. We already had the shift in structure. It hasn't pulled back yet. It's tapped into a demand zone. So at some point, it's going to start pulling back. So don't sell low and don't buy high. You want to sell high and buy low. And this would be the current high price would need to break in order to look for a pullback to buy up. Again, if it gives or if it provides you another level of structure, meaning if it pulls back here, pushes down, it pushed back here. If it breaks this low and then shifts structure, then I would say you can buy from there, which would be about 120, 25 pips. But it's got to show you the structure first. All right, any questions on EJ? All right, silver, silver. Let's go to the weekly. Silver is bullish like gold. We have this break of structure here. Now let's go down to our daily. There's no real structure that is forming. Okay, 4 hour. This was a high that didn't get broken. Price did not. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I just lied. I just lied. Price structure got. Oh no, it didn't break here either. Okay. Um, this was the high. Price started shifting internal structure. Price pulled back and started selling. This was the first shift of structure here because you had this break of structure and then you have this shift in structure. So the first supply zone is here. So like with gold, I do believe, and I'll pull it up, that I am looking for a price to pull back to sell for gold. Same thing. Um, 'Cause, Let me see something. This was a key level here. Yeah, so I'm looking for once this shift happened, I mean, it did tap into the zone, so technically it doesn't have to come all the way back, but we're on the 4 hour. On the 15 minute, or let me do 1 hour. Yeah, see, I would want price to come back to this supply zone. Of course, this is the swing high, so I would want price to come back to this zone before selling. As you can see, there was a shift and then price pulled back, took out the low. So I think I would be looking for price to pull back into this zone somewhere to then start buying back up into this zone. Or it could continue selling. I mean, continue buying. So what I see is price tapped into or tapped a key level. Let me go into price tapped a key level, which was this zone right here. It was a strong level of resistance. It came back as support, came back as support again. On the 1 hour, it left this demand zone. So I would be looking for price to come back to this level, this key level into this demand zone to then start pushing to the upside. Of course, once price gets there, I would go to a lower time frame, the 15-minute or the 5 minute, to look for the shift in structure and then get in on that shift. Or you can just set a limit and you can set a limit. Hold on. Move this out of the way. I just don't like that there are no wicks on here. And my last down candle would be this one. So I would set a limit. I don't know how to read. Is that 347 pips? Elfie, you do.
Looks like it.
Oh, hell no. So I would not set a limit. I would definitely set an alert. And um, if price, because now that I'm looking at it, like here,
The
yeah,
growth twisted to the downside, yes.
it's like in
Market's
the
got pushed
structure
out.
here is, yeah, I would wait for if it pulls back to that zone, because this was the break right here,
Mm-hmm.
right? So this could just be pushing back into this supply zone to then start selling again. Um, so currently it is in this this bullish structure, right? So price may not even pull back to this zone. It could just to um, pull back to this demand and then keep pushing up. This is the low, this is the high. So price could tap into here, shift structure, and then keep buying up. And then once it comes here, I wouldn't set that. I wouldn't set a limit. I would definitely wait for price again because that stop loss is crazy on a 15 minute. Mm,
Yes, thank you.
you're welcome. And GJ. Let's go to the weekly. Price has tapped into. Let's go to the daily. There was a daily supply, demand, supply zone. Duh. There was a daily supply zone that price tapped into. If I go down to my 1 hour, we had a market structure shift here. So I am expecting price to pull back into this supply zone. It tapped into this demand zone, so I'm hoping that that price is going to shift back up to the upside to then start selling back down to, we have this higher time frame structure here. So we have this higher time frame break, which makes this my swing low. Of course, this is the swing high. And then we have several demand zones that I would be looking for price to sell back down to. So you have this zone here. And then we have this zone here. So once this pulls back, you can just start targeting, like I said, depending on your trading, how your trading style, you can target this low. Hey, if you want to target whatever low that's created here, you can target that low. Or if you want to target this demand or this demand. Um, that's all up to you. But as of right now, there has been a little shift in structure. Price tapped into this demand zone, so I'm expecting a push back up for the sell. And if I go to the 15 minute, I'm currently in this 15-minute bearish structure here. Right? So either price is going to have to create some more structure because this right here is my 15-minute swing high. This is my 15-minute swing low. So price is either going to have to break this low and then shift structure back to the upside, or it's going to break this low, pull back, and keep hitting the supply zones until you see a shift. It's either going to keep pushing down, breaking structure until you see a shift. Then you can buy it back up to this zone to then look for the sell. Any questions? Did I miss anyone's requests?
Thank you.
You're
Yeah.
welcome.
Thank you, Kim.
You're welcome. Hi, Barbara.
Thank you
Hi.
for
You're welcome. All right. That's all I got for y'all. See y'all in these market streets.
Everyone have a blessed
bye.
week.
Huh?
Have a blessed week, everyone.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you.
Oh, wait
Thank
a minute.
you.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Next week we probably won't be on have the call. Maybe. I'll see. I'll see how stuffed I am. Well,
Okay.
I love it.
all
Okay.
right.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, if y'all don't hear from me, then y'all know. Okay.
No worries.
All
Enjoy.
right.
All right. Take care. Bye bye.